first we'll start with, okay, what exactly the machine learning is. So you heard about something term called programming, right? You might be knowing the programming. So if let's say, for example, what exactly the machine learning, if you go with the definition, right? What exactly the machine learning is? So it's provide computer with the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So what let's say if programming is a new term to you, I'll guide you, like, we write a different programs into different programming language. Let's say we write a program in Python, we write a program in R, we write in SAS. So different tools and technology are there. There is also different cloud computing is also there, right? So we all the time, it's an iterative process, right? We are trying to be to write the program all the time. So if we take an example of, let's say there is an dustbin over there, and you have a particular thing to throw over there, right? You can simply can make a guess over there, right? Okay, this is gonna be the the length, or you can say that they're gonna be a difference between these two. Okay, if I'll throw with a particular velocity, it's gonna be there in this particular bin, right? So most of the time, let's say 80-90% of the time, you will get that right? Now let's say if you are throwing this, but I'll add another variable, which is fan over there, right? So what will happen is you need to consider this variable over there as well. Variable, I mean that a particular feature, okay, a particular element. So just do not scared from different terminology. Just try to understand it. And of course, I'm gonna take care of Q&A session. So we have a Q&A box as well, so you can drop your questions over there. So at the end of the session, I'll try to answer most of your questions, and we'll try to address your questions as well. So let's say this kind of, if I'll put 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more variables or more elements over there, right, it would be difficult for you to do the same task, right? So similar way, machine learning will come into the picture. If you have n number of features, you can still do that particular thing in a quite easy way, right? So basically what you are doing is you are just trying to make things easy for you, right? So let's say the factor like growing volume, as I said, varieties of volume data, computational processing that is cheaper and more powerful, and affordable data storage, right? So this all things actually contributing into machine learning. So you might be thinking, why machine learning, right? So let me tell you, this machine learning term is not quite new. This was invented in 1950s. Okay, this is not quite a new term. It invented in 1950s. Then again, it come into the boom in 1970s. Okay, then after 2000, let's say 13 or 14, why this term again come into the aggressively come into the picture, right? We'll talk about that as well, right? So why machine learning, first of all? So you need to having a huge amount of data, you have a data with you wanted to make some data driven decision out of it, right? So machine learning is a term which learn from the data. Okay, so there is one part, the way human learn, a similar way you can make machine learn. Okay, and that is called a train part or learn. Okay, we know this term. These are very simple. You train data, then you test that particular data. Okay, and or test, or you can also say it as a validate. Okay, you validate it and you will get an outcome, right? So basically you are actually forecasting, or it's also another name of machine learning is predictive analytics. It is predictive analytics, right? So you are actually came to know what gonna be there, what gonna be the sales for let's say you are a CEO of a PepsiCo, you wanted to know what gonna be there of my sales, right? So those repetitive efforts, you can make it quite ease for your use, as well as those computation could be converted into the ESP's methodology using machine learning, right? And every data have a story to tell. Always remember that, right? Every data have a story to remember. Okay, story to tell. if you know that story, there should be some hidden insight over there, right? If you get that insight, right? So let's say if we take an example, Diwali period is coming, right? So if you go to any independent retailer or you go to any store, you will ask them, okay, what kind of preparation you are having. He or she should be telling that, okay, last year on Diwali in my shop this much sale was happened, so I'm expecting at least little bit here and there. If you go to Amazon, right, if you go to Amazon, uh, the retailer, right, we can say e-commerce platform, you go to Flipkart, right, you ask them, okay, what's happening. So they'll say that, okay, big $1 billion sale is something where we are expecting more customer. What was in the previous year, on basis of that they are making some forecasting over there, right? So here we are trying to uncovering the hidden insight through learning from the historical data and without human interaction. Does that mean that we do not require human for that? So no, the answer is no. It's not like that you do not require a human for that, right? Because machine learning, there are different logics are there, right? Machine learning is having a different logics, okay? We'll talk about the application part as well, but I'll try to make you clear about the fundamentals as well, right? So the way independent retailer is making some sense, making some prediction, okay, my sale gonna be okay on Sunday, I'm getting a very good customer, right? So I'll get a good raw material on Sunday. On basis of that, he'll be making some prediction for upcoming Sunday, right? The similar way we can get a prediction from machine learning models, right? But in a systematic way. Now, when machine learning come into the picture, there are four things will come into the picture. One is the statistics. So you'll be saying that, okay, I don't know the statistics. That's perfectly all right. It's not that, if you are thirsty, you do not need the entire ocean, right? You need a glass of water to be, fulfill your thirst, right? So basic statistics book is 767 pages. You do not require to know the entire thing. There is a couple of concepts which you need to know, right? But those are the concepts you must know, I would say. It's not like you can skip the statistics for machine learning, but you need to know those concepts, I would say, right? Not this the entire book or entire basic statistics, but there are a couple of concepts which are there, right? Or logics which are there, okay? So if we talk about why machine learning, so since the dawn of the time where human come into the existence, right, until 2005, okay, so we had created how much data? 130 exabyte of data, okay? So you would be thinking that, okay, what 130 exabyte of data would be look like, okay? So 1 byte is equal to 1 letter, 1 kilobyte is equal to 1,000 letter, 1 megabyte is equal to 500 pages, 1 gigabyte is equal to, you can fit a human gene into that. 1 TB, that is, it's an RC lifetime. You know what 1 TB is, like 1 TB is 700, BI tree. So that's the way you can say that, okay, how much exabyte of data gonna be there, right? So we have created 130 exabyte of data till 2005. And from the human, when we started the human race, right? Then, okay, why machine learning? From 2005 we have 130 exabyte of data. From 2010 we have 1200 exabyte of data. You can see the difference over here. 2015, 7,900 exabyte of data. 2020, we have 40,900 exabyte of data. Okay, 1 exabyte is equal to 1,000 petabyte. 1 petabyte is equal to 1,000 terabyte. 1 terabyte is equal to 1,000 gigabyte, right? So this is the conversion. What you get it over here, exabyte. Now you can see that, okay, how much data we have created. So who have created this data? Is this data was created? Okay, so for people like you, me, everyone, we all are created this data, right? So how we created this data? Through social media, okay? Through different search, okay? Different search, information. Previously, there were no in there we were not able to store the data. There was the problem. Okay. Just remember, we were not able to store the data. There was the reason that we were not able to make some sense from that particular data. These logics were there. It was there in 1950s as well, 1970s as well. Few logics were there in 1950s, few logics were there in 1970s, few logics were additionally we got by 2021 we got almost all the logics, right? So we were not able to store it. Now we are having the different storing. So let's say I'll not go deep dive into that, but take an example. You are able to store the data in different machines. Okay, the way you have laptop, the way you have desktop, there are different machines are there where you can store the huge amount of data, right? And then you can process this data. Okay, so you will get in some sense out of it and you can make the data driven decision out of it. So till here, you can say that till here, a data scientist can deal with the data. Okay, I'll tell the definition of data scientist, data analyst, business analyst, everything later on. But after that, they're gonna be, you need machine learning to deal with this data. You need a machine learning. Of course you can do machine learning here as well, but here where machine learning, cloud computing, everything will come into the picture, right? The computational become quite huge over there, right? Okay, so you can see that this is the curve data scientist, here the machine, and here the machine learning will come into the picture, right? So this is the 50 fold growth from the beginning of 2020 till the end of 2020, sorry. Okay, it's given by Digital Universe study as well. Okay, so this is the reason why we required machine learning. So all right, so what kind of predictive analytics application going to be there? So you are using Gmail, right? Your email, right? So what exactly the Gmail is? It's telling you, right, whether that email is spam or it's email which should be there in your inbox, right? So how it is defining it? It is using the machine learning. It is called spam detection. Okay, credit card fraud detection. You heard about this, right? Suddenly your credit card get lost, or you suddenly there would be a transaction, right, which happened, and this fraud actually in such a way that it will impact the individual like anything, right? Then there is called a digit recognition. What is digit recognition? All right, let's say we have a different numeric over there, we have a different uh, uh, you know let's say we have a different books over there, right? Right now we are going through the physical books, so tomorrow we're gonna go with the digital one, right? So how we can recognize a particular number over there, right? How we can recognize a particular text over there, that is called an text analytics. Okay, text analytics. So previously if you'll go to any lawyer, you will go to them and they'll tell that, okay, what kind of a particular that clause going to be there, right? They'll go to their library and they'll go through all the books and they'll come up with that, right? Now it become easy, because of the text analytics. You can't imagine, because of the text analytics it's become so much easy that you can just say that, okay, what's going to be there. Even you heard about the app called Procto, right? Where it is scheduling the appointment, right? The similar way, looking at your earlier history, okay, looking at your earlier history, medical history, doctor can predict, doctor can predict what's going to be there, what disease is going to be there, right? What disease is going to be there, they can predict it looking at that your history. So how this could be happen? Use of machine learning. So machine learning is not to replace us but to give us more power. Okay, so that's what the machine learning is, right? Just we need to upgrade ourselves, we need to just learn some new tools and technology, that's it. Face detection. So this face detection is useful like anything. If you will see to some of the LinkedIn posts, they have mentioned that if you are moving from one location to another location, right? So using your face, it will be converted your face into a different logic, right? And they'll able to identify, right, how you will go to a particular place. And if you'll see that using your face, let's say if I'll give you an example of iPhone, right? It's having a fake face recognition. If I'll just show my face, okay, it would be just opening the it's opening the phone, right? That is the use of face detection. Then there is a shape detection as well. What kind of shape is that? Whether it's a cat or whether it's a dog, right? It can be identified. Product recommendation. So did you observe that when you go to Amazon or when you go to Flipkart, okay, let me go more deep dive into that. If you go to Netflix, if you go to let's say Prime Videos, they are suggesting you some videos which are very inclined with your history. Okay, what you have already watched, they will suggest you like that. How they are doing that? Recommendation. Even this recommendation can also drive in such a way that it can be used for political decision as well, right? Then, as I mentioned, you looking at your earlier history, there could be a doctor can predict what kind of different disease you could somebody could have in upcoming years, right? So if you know what going to be there in upcoming years, you can prevent that, right? At least you can take preventive action over there, right? Stock trading. Most of the people are interested into that stock trading. What there is always an trends. Okay, there is always a different trends are there. There is always a different seasonality effects, different effects are there, right? So there is a logic called time series forecasting. Okay, time series forecasting. This is useful for stock trading. Okay, customer segmentation. Let's say I have, being an Amazon owner, I have seen that, okay, there is a 20% of the customer who are putting the item into the basket, but they do not buy. 30% of the customer, they just put in the item into the basket and they buy. There are 50% of the customers who are a window shopper. So whom I should focus, right? I should focus upon this 20 and 30%. That is what the customer segmentation will come into the picture, right? Now, let me give you an example of an, very famous example of Ola, which was discussed during the one of the summit in IBM as well. So uh, what machine learning example could be Ola could give you is, this is the rental car service provider, you know that, right? Ola, Uber, these are, right? So what they are giving is 1.2 billion data every day they are receiving, okay, and they need to provide a service and need to give a feedback on that query raised, right? Now you see, you just assume that you are into Ahmedabad, or you are into Anand, or you are into Bangalore, you are into Pune, you are into, let's say, Chennai, you are in a different location, right? You're into Delhi, you are into different location. If the driver which are there, if driver which are there for Delhi, if they would be populated in Ahmedabad, what will happen? If the driver which are there in Ahmedabad that would be populated in Pune, what will happen, right? So they have the things in place which take care of it, right? So sometimes what happen is, what query they are getting evening 6 to 7 or 8 p.m. they are getting so many queries over there, right? So they are able to solve that problem using machine learning. They were using Hadoop and RStudio for that. We will not go deep dive into that, but they are able to resolve that particular query, right? And there are 500 plus analysts who are working on this particular machine learning project. Okay, Amazon ebook machine learning example. So Netflix, how it is recommended you on basis of your earlier watch. Amazon, how it recommended you a product which are there in your cart on basis of the machine learning algorithm, which is called a recommendation system. Okay. Now, how machine learning being used? So these are the application of machine learning. We'll not go deep dive into that, but I'll just walk you through fraud detection, right? So there could be a fixed set of rule which could be inclined over there. Okay, web search result. There could be a real-time ads. Okay, the Google Analytics work on this, right? Google Ads, real-time analysis, real-time ads, text-based analysis, adaptive website, bioinformatics, brain machine interface. So you heard a lot about AI, right? Artificial intelligence. Okay, artificial intelligence. So what artificial intelligence it is? It's actually, you have machine learning and extension of machine learning. You are having AI. Okay, nothing but, let's say, how human brain work. Okay, how human brain is having a billion trillions of neurons. Okay, we are having billion and trillions neurons. How this neuron works, on basis of that they have created something called ANN and CNN. Okay, which is called artificial neural network. CNN is called convolutional neural network. RNN is called recurrent neural network. Okay, they created the artificial neural network which can identify, okay, let's say Tesla. Okay, Tesla is having a car, right? Tesla AI based car. So it is identifying the object. This is a road. Okay, this is there going to be a person over here. Okay, person. Okay, just give AI based driving system. They'll put a brake over there. Okay, there is a person. There is a tree. There is a diversion. So this is where how AI is working, right? This is how AI driven car is working, which is an extension of machine learning. You can have computer vision. You have game playing, information retrieval, marketing, online advertisement, recommendation system, robot in commotion. Then we have prediction of equipment failure. Let's say if you buy a Dell laptop, right? I'm not promoting any laptop, but let's say they're going to be a Dell or MacBook, right? You have it, okay? So here you are getting 2 years warranty. Here you are getting 2 years warranty. How they are identifying this 2 years warranty? Have you ever thought about it? They do different experiments. Okay, they had do the different experiment on the battery, and they'll see that, okay, if this battery gonna charge 625 times, then after that it gonna be die. Okay, so on basis of that they have come up with this particular thing, right? That is what prediction of equipment failure would also come into the picture. Even your refrigerator, compressor, and then AC, those maintenance, those are actually, different experiments are run over there, right? New pricing model, right? Network intrusion detection, then pattern and image recognition, email spam filtering. So whenever you see Gmail, you will identify some machine learning is going on, right? So medical diagnosis, NLP, natural language processing. So nowadays NLP and deep learning, these two are quite hot in demand. So what NLP is, by speaking, human create a lot of data. So let's say I'm speaking right now, right? So I'm creating a lot of data out of it, right? So what data driven decision could be made out of that as well. That could be a NLP, right? Natural language processing. How human language could be identified in such a way that you can make some inference out of it. So let's say this is the entire India is there, right? On basis of particular cities, on basis of particular metros, on basis of particular villages, you wanted to make some prediction, something that, okay, this will happen, right? So that is called inference statistic, right? You're making some inference for that, right? So this is what the different applications we are having. There are different machine learning methods are there. Maybe, let me see if I can give you a fair idea about it. So, let's say we have, machine learning over here, right? Okay. If data, everything comes start with the data. Data is what? Data is the information. Okay, whatever the information you are having, that is data. So let's say your age, the blood group, okay, uh, income. Okay, on basis of three I can decide what going to be your buying behavior. This is one example. Okay, I can also decide that what kind of cell phone you're going to use, what TV you will purchase. A lot of things could be predicted, right? So if your data would be known, or it's called a labeled, okay, it's called in supervised learning. Okay, supervised, supervised thing, you aware about it, supervised learning. If it is data would not be known, unknown, right? It's called an unsupervised learning. Okay, it's unsupervised learning. So the supervised learning where you are predicting something which is numeric in nature. So let's say sales data. So it's called numeric, right? So that is called a problem named regression. And this regression is nothing but in 10th standard or in 10th standard or 12th standard, you have learned the line equation, right? which is y is equal to a plus bx, or y is equal to mx plus c. This is the same equation on basis of which regression is there. If we talk about the another one, if this is categorical, let's say if it would be male, female, if you are doing prediction like this, you go with the classification technique. Okay. And unsupervised, let's say you can have a clustering. You don't know what gonna be there. Let's say Google Siri, Google Speak. Okay, Google Speak don't know what kind of data he gonna get. Let's say somebody from Maharashtra will say hello, somebody from Gujarat will say hello, somebody from UP will say hello, somebody from South will say hello. So he'll get all those hello and try to identify, okay, are they mean to say that hello? So first initial stage there would be some challenges. After that they'll be learning by this own logic by their own self. Okay, learning from this data points, and they'll make some prediction out of it, right? So this is what about the machine learning. Okay, so these are the different methods which we are having. We'll not go deep dive into that because that is altogether a different study to learn machine learning algorithm. But these are the different algorithm where which need to be studied when you are going for machine learning or data science, right? Data science is what, when you are trying to make some inference out of this data, what exactly the data have a story to tell to you, right? So if you can see that support vector machine where we are identifying, whether it's a cat or dog, right? So there are different applications going to be there with each algorithm, right? Clustering where we are assigning, okay, this is similar kind of people, this is a similar kind of product, this is similar kind of that, right? That example, principal component analysis. So this is more in trend with it, right? So it's always say that you need to do a lot of data pre-processing. Okay, when you go for any logic, data pre-processing means you need to play with the data, you need to know the data. Okay, you need to know the data to make the inference, to make some data driven decision out of it, right? Now in statistics, everything is in, if you talk about the stats, right, everything is what, it is approximation. You cannot definitely go and tell that, okay, i'm having I'm saying that this will happen. Okay, there would be a chances, approximation is there, right? That is what how machine learning is working, right? So when we are talking about the machine learning, these are the things which should know. And okay, the application part in terms of, let's say, in different stream, right? So let's say if we talk about the let me walk you through the different role we are having in machine learning. Just give me a moment, let me walk you through the different role. So we have a role of an data scientist. Okay, data scientist. Then we have a role of data analyst, business analyst. There are different roles which are available in the market, and there is a role called data engineer. Okay, solution architect. If you do not know much of the thing, just accept it as to know, right? There are a lot of things which maybe, lot of informations are there. So just accept it to know it, right? Then later on, you can, if you have any questions, query, we'll be sharing one channel link to you. You can join that channel, and we'll be having some fruitful discussion over there, right? And there is the ML engineer is also there, right? Now ML engineer. Now, data scientist is somebody who, develop a model. Okay, develop a model. So develop a model or deploy it as well. Okay, so when we say data scientist, we are referring to somebody who is have know the statistics, little bit programming. Is also good with the storytelling part as well. Data analyst, he do things related to, make create some data inference out of it, right? He also do the data exploration part. Okay, somewhere he is also do data fetching as well. Okay, getting the data from different resources. Business analysts, they have a good idea about business, so they would be let's say having a good domain knowledge. So when I say domain, I mean to say that, let's say HR, so HR analytics, then finance, so financial analytics, right? Then if I say bank, so banking domain, right? Banking domain. So we say, okay, we can say that in banking domain, anti-money laundering. In finance, okay, what could be the different sector we are having in finance? HR, okay, what could be the attrition rate? How we can define the different attrition rate, why it is happening, right? How we can engage employment. So a lot of things could be there over there, right? Then data engineering, he or she would be aware about the cloud and about the traditional data center. Solution architect, they are aware about the cloud platform. Okay, they deployed the things on cloud. ML engineer, merge of a data science on cloud platform. Okay, so these are the different role we are having with us. Okay, so let's say if you are doing in HR, or let's say if you are doing MBA, could you please tell me which kind of different programs we are having, so I can address those questions. What kind of different uh,
Different sectors, sir?
yeah. So students
So
from which background they are have from?
agriculture and agri-technology.
Yeah, so agriculture and agri technology, right? So
And there are engineers, many of them are engineers as well.
so let's say if they are engineer, right? So as we know, if we are an engineer, right? So we know, most of the things related to, let's say it could be a mechanical or the different engineers which we are having, right? You're referring to engineer, you are referring to
Yes,
all
sir.
the
Yeah,
stream,
chemical,
all the
Yes,
stream,
sir.
mechanical,
yeah,
different.
yeah. So right. So what happened is, let's say if you are an engineer, right? So there could be a possibility that, okay, just give me one minute. So let's say you are an engineer, right? You are an engineer. Uh, so you will either be working in a manufacturing company, for example, right? You are in a manufacturing company, or any other stream you will be taking, right? So let's say product-based company, okay? Product-based company, or we can take it as an, let's say, service-based company, right? So this all company, they do have an applications of data science or machine learning or AI, right? I'm not saying that they are having 100% for manufacturing. Let's say an example. So for manufacturing, right, or product-based company, so they all have their own data science unit. Okay, they all have their own data science unit as well, which work upon the, okay, what could be the different optimization techniques could be there. Okay, how it can be utilized over there, right? Then if we talk about the service based, most of the service based company work upon different clients. Okay, and this client is having a different requirements in terms of the, BAs, DAs, data engineer, cloud architect, the things which I have just discussed, right? So definitely, if you are an engineer, you can merge data science with that and become, more employable in future as well. The another role you can target is a data engineer as well, right? If you're good at it, you can target a data engineer role as well, right? So here the blend, I'm not saying that your chemical engineer, how chemical engineering you can apply it. Data is everywhere, right? I'm not saying that data is in each and every industry, whether it's a banking, whether it's a finance, whether it's a agriculture. Okay, let's take an example of agriculture. So what kind of outcome you can get from agriculture? So if you will understand, the Indian economics, right, which is more rely on agriculture. So what kind of different problem they are having, whether it's going to be rain or not rain, right? How much rain going to be there? So how much rain? Okay, that is forecasting. What is forecasting? It's a type of ML technique. Okay. So these are the application part I'm talking about, right? Application part I'm talking about, where you can use agriculture. You can develop the different agriculture tool as well. There is something called IoT, Internet of the Thing, right? Internet of the Thing. So my earlier project was with Thailand. So these people in Thailand, what they have done is they have actually, created one greenhouse. Okay, you heard about greenhouse, right? Most of the agriculture people would be knowing about it, right? Now they have a particular camera placed over here, and they would be capturing the growth of a particular crop, right? On basis of that, they imply the same thing to other places. Okay, what was the outcome of this particular greenhouse effect they applied to over here, right? So how this ML technique would be useful to you? So these are the different applications of ML techniques which could be useful for you, right? So now what we can do is, we have couple of good time with us, around 15-20 minutes, so I can answer your questions. So you can share your question with one of your lead or one of the students uh, who was there.
Sure, sir. I will take the question if there is anything.
Yeah. So you take care of it. One question is there. Let me answer that question. How AI, ML, ANN is being used the neuromarketing. So let's say, as I told you, the example of, you know, it says that if you see a particular thing 3 times, okay, this you might have learned, you might get to know, if you watch something 3 times, there would be an desire to buy that particular thing. The desire appear to buy that particular thing, right? So what this marketing is doing, okay, so what the campaign they are having is, what they will do is, there is something called, market mix modeling. Okay, market mix modeling. So they have a particular fund which they invested on different channel of marketing, and they will study this. Okay, that's called market mix modeling. So they will invest it on, let's say, print media. Okay, so print media, I mean over here is, let's say, newspaper or advertisement. Okay, advertisement. So advertisement during IPL. Okay, you watch something, you will have a desire to get that particular thing, right? So if I'll say, okay, what do you mean by thanda matlab Coca-Cola? So that is the part of, one of the campaign they are having. And then they will observe the spend, what they have done. That is something called ROI, which is called return on investment. Okay. Return on investment. What they have invested, they do get an outcome, and from where they are getting more outcome, on basis of that, they will spend more money on that particular thing, right? So this way, the different logics are used to make your decisions more basis of what they are want, instead of what you want. Are you getting my point? So sometimes what happen is, let's say you go to a DMart, right? Do you observe that you buy the things, you go for to buy one thing, but you come up with, having 5 things in your hand? Why it is happening? Because you are not knowing that, right? You just, it click in your brain, right? The similar way, what happen is, you simply, doing window shopping on Amazon, but still you buy something after some time, right? Why it is happening? The desire will come into they most of the time they are populating through advertisement, right? And these ANN, CNN, these recommendation system are there to yeah, these are there, these are the different logics are there to create awareness or make you buy those particular things. So if you see that cell phone you are having in your hand, right? How you buy that? Can you see that journey? How you buy that? No, these all things actually matters. You know, there is something called uh, there is something called you are pretty much sure about it, social media, right? You are aware about it. So there is, as somebody has asked the question, how your decisions are, let's say, anybody has given a speech or something, or he done a tweet, right? What would be the outcome of it, right? Everybody is observing that, right? What could be the outcome of it, right? Let's say, for example, this fellow who is owning Tesla. What is the name of that fellow who is owning the Tesla?
Elon Musk, sir.
Elon Musk, sir.
So if you remember, everybody knows that, right? Elon Musk, right? After he tweeted one tweet, I guess maybe a month or 2 months back, I guess he's having something in crypto or some currency, 5 or 10% stakes were down, right? You remember that? So how
Yeah.
that is called sentiment analysis. That is called sentiment analysis. Okay, that is also part of the machine learning. Now let me come into the point. Now let's say if you wanted to learn these all things, how you can do that. So first thing I would suggest at this moment, first you try to explore the thing, right? You do not spend much of the money on it at this moment, right? If you need any guideline, you can definitely, reach out to us. We'll try to help you out with that. So how we can help you out with that? So I'm just dropping in a community link, so you can join that community. And later on, let's say if you have any questions, query, you can ask to that community as well. And if you have any questions or query at this moment, definitely you can ask me. I'll be happy to answer your queries.
Yes, sir. There are few questions. Kundan,
Yes.
please go ahead.
Yes, so my question basically is on the data which were created in a self-driving car using AI. Can it be used in insurance, providing different insurance to different people having different kind of driving attitude, driving behavior?
Yes, of course it is. So I'll tell you an example of it. Do you know something called accurate science?
Could you
Anybody
please
know
repeat?
about accurate science? Accuracy. There is a dedicated role of accuracy. Just the way we have CA, right? The chartered accountant. The similar way we have accuracy. Okay. So what these people are doing, they on the basis of different parameters, they are giving what could be the insurance for a particular age group, right? What could be the insurance of a particular sector they should provide, right? So that is the role of accuracy. So similar way, let's say what gonna be if you go to buy any insurance, right? A mediclaim. So how they are defining that whether they should give you a particular mediclaim or not, right? So what they are doing is they'll tell you, okay, if you are doing this many particular, you are doing exercises or you are doing so and so things, on basis of that, they'll give you some exemption on that, right? So in Canada, it is before 1 or 2 years, the survey was done. The people who are spending 30 minutes on their daily exercise, they'll be spending last 10 years with very healthy or with very like good life. And people who do not spend, they would be having quite challenges in terms of medical things, right? So these are the different predictions they are doing, right? So similar way, Kunal, to answer your question, yes, those behavior could be used to provide them the insurance which you are talking about. There is a dedicated body for that, which is called actuarial science, accurate. So let's say a particular insurance is there. Lombard is providing a particular insurance. Accuracy is working upon it. There is something called software. You might not be aware about it. There is software called a Prophet. Prophet is a software which is owned by Facebook. Earlier, it was not owned by Facebook, but now it is owned by Facebook. On basis of that software, they are doing this modeling part, and they are making, what could be the that particular factor or that particular insurance premiums they should keep. So of course that data could be used. Yes. What other questions we are having? Most welcome. So I have dropped that link to you of Telegram link. If you wish to learn networking, sharing our work, or you wanted to know a little bit more about it, you can join that link. Yeah.
Yes, sir. There are two questions in chat if
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
You want me to read?
Yeah. Okay. Let me read. I guess one question is, I did master in agricultural statistics. and also learn basics of ML. I have a good hands-on R studio. So which role would be fit best for me? What you can do is, every time what I suggest is, I do not directly say that, okay, you know this and you are aware about it, then you directly go and jump into business analyst or data analyst, right? You observe what you are interested as well. Your interest matters a lot. Okay, let me tell you how. Let's say if you are earning good after 5 or 7 years of your career, it would be matters what work you are doing, whether it's inclined with your current let's say interest or not, right? So there are different variables parameter you should keep into the mind when you are selecting a particular let's say if you are good with basic ML is clear with you, you are doing master in agriculture with statistics, R studio as well, and you learn SQL and you are a good fit for business analyst or data analyst role. But I still recommend it that you can share your CV with me. I'll look into that and provide you more insight about it.
Oh, sir. So there is one question direct to me. So let me read you.
Sure.
Supervise is number driven while unsupervised is emotion driven, like language or emotion. So can you share some more insight on that?
Could you repeat the question? Supervise?
Supervise is number driven while unsupervised is emotion driven, like languages or emotions. So can you share some more insight on that?
Okay, supervised machine learning where you have data with you, you train the data and validate or test it, and then you deploy it, right? Unsupervised is your data points is not known to you. So as I said, let's say an example of, as I said, Siri. So what is Siri? If you're using the iPhone, or if you're using the Google, sorry, Android phone, right? Google Speak. So every time it is getting the new data, it is updating its own algorithm, right? Of course, they're gonna be somebody who supervise it, but supervise is something where data points are known, labeled. It's called the terminology in machine learning is called labeled. Data is labeled, that is called supervised. So you train the data, you test and deploy it, right? You train the data, you will see that, okay, am I going on the right direction? You validate it and you will go ahead with that, right? Now, again, this model building and things are different than data science as well, right? In data science, we are doing data analytics, business analytics. So do not worry that if you do not know the model building part as well, you can still be in data science. There is not only one way to be in a data science, which is a model building. There are n number of ways are there. You could be a expert in SQL. You could be an expert in Python, R. You could be a business expert as well, business analyst expert as well. You could be a subject matter expert as well. I hope that makes sense to you. Yeah. Yeah, Parmeshwar, we have any other question?
Yes, sir. There is one more question, sir.
Yeah, please.
So can you explain ways to get into this industry being completely rookie? Like what languages books can be helpful?
So at this moment, there are 48,000 plus websites, books are available. So I would not recommend you to go ahead and start this journey. But as I told you that you can, start joining that channel, and later on, I'm also providing you the free resources on YouTube as well, which you can go and start your journey over there. Even I'm gonna provide some sessions on interview as well. So I took more than 4,000 plus interviews, so quite well versed with the things as well. So if you need any guidelines, you can definitely reach out to us as well. You can also, browse what the things are there, and you can also, reach out to me through my website as well. Let me drop my website over here as well. So you can join our community and can get an, more fair idea about it. Yeah. So at this moment, if you wanted to be in a data science, you need to be a little bit patient about the things. Do not, we cannot just say that, okay, we'll do some courses and we'll get into data science, because I wanted to be realistic enough, right? I always, if somebody comes to me, I always tell them, okay, you do this and this task, and then you can come back to me. I'll tell you that whether we are ready for that or not, right? It's not, I'm not saying that we are not capable for doing it, but everybody is having their own interest area as well. Everybody is having their own capabilities, right? Let's say Suraj cannot be Pratik, right? Pratik cannot be Somya. And Soumya cannot be Rishikesh or Parmeshwara, right? Everybody is having their own challenges and everybody is having their own expertise, right? So we need to focus upon that and make some data-driven decision over there. Yeah.
So there is one more last question.
Sure,
Though
sure.
you covered a bit of that. So how effective are online data analytics course in the sense of preparing someone for the career in this industry? So you
Yeah, so
mentioned something,
how
but
you,
bit more if you can.
yeah, sure, I can mention, but I don't want you to be, I cannot give you the promise of it, because, when you start learning the course, you should be patient. That is the word I have used, right? So it's like you are finding a water in forest or in a desert, right? So if you know somebody who already know that pathway, they can help you out with that, right? If I'll give you the courses as well, I need to observe you as well, right? You are doing that on the right track. So those online courses are, of course,
So
they are made. Yeah, those
yeah,
online
sorry to
courses are
interrupt. So
made for
the
it.
student also means,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Parmeshwar.
please continue. So student also mentioned that the course is available on Coursera and Udemy, these type of courses they are referring. So
So
will
you
that
see
make any
the,
sense?
yeah, so it completely makes sense to me, but you also see that are you able to finish those courses? You buy some courses in 540 rupees and you are completing those courses. If not, then what is the reason behind that, right? So I'm here to help you out with that. I'm not saying that but at least in hand, I'll try to help you out in different way I can, right? So those courses are of course useful, but we need to know that which weapon to use where, right? You cannot use needle to go into the war, and you cannot use sword to stitch your shirt, right? So similar way, you need to know that what is using where, right? I hope I have answered that questions.
Yes,
The
sir.
last
So
one, it was
is there any
tricky.
more question, guys?
Yeah. And do not worry about this all fancy things, okay? This machine learning, AI, do not worry about this fancy thing, okay? Everybody can learn it, everybody, but there would be a particular way to do that. There would be a particular, methodology to complete it. And you should also get in right direction to complete that. So sometimes you should not also get in trap with, looking into the fancy thing about that as well, right? You need to make some decision which is really makes sense to you. And if you need any support, you can definitely reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you out over there. Yeah. So I hope this
Yes,
session
sir.
would be useful for all of you, as you do not have much of the questions, but definitely we'll try to, catch up again as well. And I really appreciate there are around 100 plus participants were there. If you have any questions, query, you can reach out to us. You can join our community as well. You are warm welcome over there. So that's it from my end, Parmeshwara, and anyone else
Yes, sir.
wanted to talk about it?
Sure, sir. We will reach out and the interested ones will reach out through your community links. And
Yeah.
thank you so much, sir. It was really an interesting session for us, and whatever doubt is
Eh,
clear, and we got really sense in the data analytics part. So thank you so much for your time for
Thank you
us.
so much. And let
We
me tell you
look forward to have some more
that community
sessions.
is free. Okay, there is no charge for that community. So that is the free community. You can join that. So our motto is that everybody will learn and grow, right? They'll get the right direction. That is our motto. Okay. So take care, everyone, and thank you so much for joining the session. And I would really appreciate the committee who has, make it possible for 100 plus learners to be on one platform. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.